Well, we have now officially learned the summon spell of Genie. We got ourselves a brand new Keyblade keychain. Allie has officially lost all interest in this series now that this chapter of the game has concluded. And Aladdin will just sit there. Just like, oh, I'm sure Genie will be back soon.
Wait a minute.
You see, I'm not the only one that makes those kind of jokes.
Yeah.
Also, hello, NPC from Traverse Town, who's totally not wearing a wig to blend in with the rest of this landscape.
And they just kind of made him tanner. It's like, there, bingo, he's a resident of Agrabah. He always has been. Oh,
I mean, another thing about it, what happened to the peddler?
Ooh.
Don't know.
He just does. He isn't a thing until the second game, I don't think.
Yeah. Oh, we saw him earlier.
Oh, that's
pretty sure
right.
we saw him earlier. Literally just holding it up in Aladdin's pad for a little bit.
That is true. Yeah, I don't know where he went to. I know he plays a bigger role in the sequel.
He does.
Anyway. So, now he's talking about how, now that we unlock the Green Trinity, Trinity Ladder, we can go back and unlock new abilities. And we do have this torn page, but my plan is I'm not going to actually do that world until I have all the torn pages. My idea is that I want to be able to
Get it all done in one fell swoop.
Yeah, just kind of do it like a big thing. Otherwise, what would normally happen is that you would normally, get to the end of one portion of that world and then stop until you come back with another torn page.
It's a good thing with our combined weight, we weren't heavy enough to shatter through that glass table there.
I don't know why I almost... all the donations... Oh yeah, by the way, this is where all the
Wait a minute, hold the fucking phone. What the heck are these Moogles doing locking up 3 Dalmatians?
Clearly to hold hostages for financial gain. Hey, Koopos. Yeah, this is where all the Moogles are hanging out, and this is where... Get this freaking paper out of my face. There we go. This is where the synthesis shop is, akin to most Final Fantasy games. Basically, if we've been noticing we've been getting all these odd items from enemies, we can use them here to create new items, and in particular, which I will not be doing in this game, unfortunately, technically not, this is how you can get the ultimate weapon of the game, the Ultima Weapon. However, because this is Final Mix, they introduced a new type of enemy we have to go around and find, and introduce new materials, and they're frankly a pain in the ass to get.
Yeah.
At least more than once. I did it on one save, and we will be revisiting that save later, but one time of grinding that out is enough for me. Back in the old days, on the PS2, all you had to do was just get a certain number of kills. Jordy, how are you doing?
I'm doing good, though I gotta go to the bathroom. I'll be right back.
Okay then. So, we said Trinity Ladder, we did that. Oh, no, the joke I thought you were going to do, James, was that I thought you were like Goofy was like, man, this sure is real sweet of you to help us out like this, Donald. And it turns out Donald's the bottom of the ladder.
Poor.
It's like, why?
Donald's always the bottom of every joke.
Well, I mean, yeah,
course.
seriously, Disney is... Go ahead.
It's in his theme song. He gets stuck with all the bad luck.
Yeah.
No one but Donald Duck.
Yeah, no, Donald always gets all the, like... He really is the butt of every joke.
I mean, hell, some people misconstrue him as a goose.
I could see that. Yeah, I could see why. Ooh. Well, look at how high he jumped.
But man, is he a good jumper. No wonder he was made the lead to
yeah,
that.
It's like...
His nose, that just...
Yeah, it's like...
Yeah.
So
what
do we get for burning the chimney?
Nothing.
Well, we have to go up top and then...
Hey, I recognize that wooden puppet.
Damn it!
Oh, I was hyped for a second. Hey,
that was
Jody.
me. I wanted to fool
I
you
guys. I knew it was you, but were you irritated about something?
No, that was just my remark to Pinocchio's appearance in a play. Just cause.
It's Pinocchio. It's fine. He was from the second Disney movie.
Yep, the very second Disney animated feature.
Oh.
And clearly he was not here playing hide and seek.
Nope.
And this is basically them having an exchange, going back and forth on the movie that everybody already knows and understands the plot line of. So,
I mean, I will look back. I'm looking back on it. It's kind of funny how certain media loves to really make the most out of the whole gimmick behind Pinocchio's lying, even though they only did it like once in that entire flick / book.
Right, just for this little exchange, you're talking about how it grows and grows. That's the whole premise. It's never been like a running gimmick. It was just a freaking play on words, and that's it. But once again, looking at this here, I do think they did a really solid job of I wish they had some behind the scenes footage of talking about how they went from the original, like, you know, model sheets and concept art into making these 3D models, because it's this, for many people, including myself, this was my first time seeing a lot of these characters rendered in 3D.
Yeah, pretty much the same here. I mean, it's funny too because I know with at least that one Disney classics game that we covered a while back that had both the Aladdin and Lion King video game adaptations, they not only brought in all those, you know, multiple versions of those games, that version actually went and made, they also include a whole bunch of, like, concept art and, you know, sort of behind-the-scenes bits that showcase how the game was brought to how it was in the first place. Like, straight down to the point where they did reference model sheets tried their very damnedest to really match the quality of the movies in video game form. And mind you, this was during, like, the Genesis/Super Nintendo era.
Yeah.
So, effectively, all that happened there was he told us, hey, he's trying to look for his father. He was grabbing some items for him. So now what happens here is that if we go... This is sort of a random occurrence, but fortunately I managed... It's usually a high chance it's going to happen anyway. That ain't the next planet.
What is it?
It looks like a small tire.
Oh, don't worry. They only eat krill.
Swim away!
It kind of looks like a...
Forgot about that bit. I thought it was going to be like, oh, look, that whale... Oh, that's just a small whale. Oh, it's a much bigger whale in person.
Holy crap.
Oh, that did.
Yeah.
Okay, that was a frighten. And for a second, I thought it was gonna eat us.
And Jimny's like, oh, god damn, how the hell is he surviving out in space? It's space. But
I mean, space whales are a thing, I think.
But yeah, unfortunately, we cannot actually move out of this cutscene. Again, I've actually seen it happen where there's a likelihood, there is a chance he won't eat you, but 9 times out of 10, he's gonna eat you. He's gonna eat you as he screams like Patrick. Whoop. And we have our life flashes before our very eyes. And I think this cutscene was actually in the original as well. It's only later cutscenes that were only in Final Mix, but whenever they did not have like little kid actors until I think Birth by Sleep for playing the little ones.
Yeah,
probably. Although it's funny you say that because I could have sworn this was something they added into the Final Mix.
I'll have to double check, but yeah.
Can you hear it growling?
We're not voicing the game. I doubt we're gonna be able to voice this game all the way through and through.
Well, I wasn't
gonna. Be careful. Oh. Well, that makes my next remark seem silly now that I just tried to do it.
I just felt like doing it just to see if I can get a giggle out of Jordan.
I'm so sorry, I'm a little distracted.
Oh,
what's going on?
I'm messaging a friend about a commission and it's not going well.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. I won't go into detail.
Okay. Well, in any case, this is gonna be one of my least favorite worlds we're going to up ahead. I'll give them credit that it's pretty creative what they tried to do to put together, like, you know, taking what should have just been a single area and then bringing it out as far as they could. But it is so quiet. They needed some music here or something. I don't know.
Yeah, that did seem a little awkward.
Anyway, and look, talking about Kyrie. Oh, that's sweet. Anyway, welcome to the inner maw of Monstro. What the hell's the problem?
Knock what off?
Are you okay?
What, is he drooling? Is that the problem?
Is he snoring loudly and whoa?
Oh, he's just dropping shit.
Oh.
You know, I think that big old whale Monstro just swallowed.
And somehow we can't get to our gummy ship, even though we actually can totally access our gummy ship at any time. Like we can just use a save point and leave and
Doop.
Heavy showers.
Stop throwing crap.
Oh, okay. It was
How
just
the hell did you beat us?
How? Seriously, we just saw you back at Traverse Town.
It was like we take our eyes off you for 5 minutes. And he's gathering gummy blocks for something. I believe I guess the impression is that he's trying to gather stuff for his father to like use to build a ship. But regardless, welcome to Monstro.
I mean, I know in the original movie they were trying to get as much firewood as they could so they could burn it all up and make the Monstro sneeze.
Right.
But here, yeah, I guess considering he is picking up gummy blocks, and later, spoiler warning, we eventually learned that Geppetto actually can make gummy blueprints. They probably are building a new ship.
It's a pretty redundant shop. Yeah, that's pretty much it. But what his shop will do later is, depending on how many heartless ships we destroy in the, let's be honest, very dull gummy ship levels, determines we can unlock blueprints like from Final Fantasy, like a chocobo, a cactar. Except here's the kicker. Here's the kicker is that you can still build those blueprints if you know what they look like already, so it's not the biggest.
It's helpful. It's helpful for those that could use a little like extra inspiration. You know the creative types.
I don't know. Aw, even had the fish.
The fish.
Oh, I like the fish.
Hey there, little fishy.
And immediately he just wanders off.
Because he saw Riku.
Oh.
Is that what he saw?
Yeah, it was.
Such an odd, seems like such an odd thing to say. I don't know, just this game leads to some weird exchanges. Where's Pinocchio? Oh, he saw Riku.
Well, it's like if you were paying attention, he was staring at someone leaving and it looked like Riku.
Well, let's go catch up with them then as we explore the totally anatomical interior of a whale. Yeah.
So I guess this is what whale meat looks like.
What are you doing? Come on, let's go back.
Something about the coloring does look familiar.
I guess the idea is that it's almost supposed to be kind of like the freaking Lord Jabu Jabu, or just it's this car. You know the color palette of.
Sora, I thought you liked games.
Dun dun dun.
Now that you have the Keyblade.
Riku,
What the heck are you
what
doing?
are you doing here?
Just playing with Pinocchio.
Aren't you a little too old to be playing with toys?
What about Kyrie?
I'm a
Did you find her?
real boy.
Maybe.
That's another funny thing.
Maybe I'll tell you what I
Granted, this whole series is playing with its own continuity, but
Whoop.
the fact that starting off, we actually have Geppetto as our basically the guy that keeps track of all of our progress so far. Even though
you mean Jiminy?
Yeah, Jiminy, my bad.
No worries.
Whoops.
Just wanders along with us like I can't have.
But
I can't
anyway,
fight too much. But I'll
so we
just
have
sit-
Jiminy.
You continue. Yes, we have
Jiminy. From the get-go, Minnie had Jiminy come along with Donald and Goofy so he could keep track of all their progress in a handy-dandy journal. And only later on do we realize that, Pinocchio's still around, but he's still a wooden puppet.
Yeah, so clearly Jiminy is slacking off on his responsibilities, and he just found us. He found the best way possible to basically distract himself. Like, okay, listen, just tell them I'm busy and I don't want to be as conscious.
I'm
Okay,
sorry,
that'd be really
Pinocchio,
sweet.
but this is a union gig.
Oh, God.
Sorry, dues are I have to pay. Finances are tough. I gotta pay dues. Gotta pay rent. Conscious. Oh, I forgot to equip this.
Conscious work only pays so much money, kiddo.
It don't pay what it used to.
Yeah,
That's the explanation for Grand Theft Auto.
Oh, God.
I'm just imagining that little cricket driving those cars.
That reminds me of. Go ahead.
It's sort of random all of a sudden, but consider the fact that earlier he was picking up blocks to take Geppetto. Now it just suddenly makes me imagine Grand Theft Geppetto.
No. Although that's a silly enough name. No, that actually is making me think of It's a game I want to play at some. Oh jeez, this is why I don't like this area. Is that enemies will respawn every time you go into these areas, and as you're seeing here, the whole place works like a maze where different entrances will open depending on which hole you went into, and if you fall down, congrats. Now you have to basically wander around even further because you are now backtracking unless you can platform just right, and we will get an ability that will make platforming in this place so much nicer. But until then, we have our rough and tough. Where the hell is that at? Where the hell is that enemy? Yeah, our simple jump arc. Okay, I remember now. Is that it's a game I want to play at some point, but Little Nightmares 2, since it got ported to Steam or whatever, there we go. Has all these mods and stuff of like Disney characters being put into those scenarios and not
Jeez,
the actual.
They already got mods working for that game.
Yeah, Little Nightmares 2. So now instead of Mono and Nine running around, it's Buzz and Woody.
Jesus Christ.
Instead of the Hunter, they replace him with Elmer Fudd. One of the creepier ones, because it totally could happen, is, and the model work is very nice. Like, it actually, like, it doesn't, the models aren't tearing, like, the polygons still work. The teacher who has her head that can extend and stuff all creepily, they replaced her with Elastigirl. Like, they do this with a lot of them, and it's so weird, and I'm impressed they got mods working. It looks pretty good. It's, I mean, I guess I can spoil side too, is that it actually is a prequel to the first game.
Then why is it called the sequel?
To be fair,
Because that it's not even the first time that's ever happened. Like, there have been times where a secret prequel has been like named the sequel to kind of confuse you.
yeah,
Why
like
can't
look
they
at the
be-
freaking.
I was just gonna say, why can't they be more considerate about that? I mean, next you know, they're gonna release a game that's called, like, I'm trying to think of a game that was coming out recently. Like,
Kingdom Hearts 2.8, when it's actually has a story that's at the earliest point in the timeline.
no, I'm trying to think of like an inverse of that.
Oh, like Kingdom Hearts 1, but it's like the third. I feel like I have seen that before, where it's like it's titled the first game, but it's actually like the latest. I know I've seen something like this happen before.
Whereas
but
like
in
something
any case-
that's like has a name that makes you think it's a prequel, but it's actually a continuation of something else.
That is
You know,
true.
they'd probably end up doing that for
Well-
for if ever there was something past Beyond Good and Evil 2.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. And I remember when that project was a thing, because I completely didn't until
Yeah,
James
no,
just
I
mentioned it.
think by this point that game's going to go through development hell and then eventually cancellation.
Yeah, it's a
Because
shame
it's just-
because
There's absolutely nothing going forward with that whole project.
yeah, and
I
like
know,
the
that's-
closest thing it has to
Fire.
really salvaging it is on Cell, and now that he's retired from game work, I don't see anything really salvaging it.
I don't. It but with how the graphics look, I almost wonder if they should just can all game development, just make it a movie, like a short film or
They
something.
may as well.
Because that FMV sequence, which is so far the only thing we've seen to date, apart from that other trailer, it looks fine. It looks neat.
Not
Despite
particularly
its-
likable, but it's well animated.
I was gonna say, like, despite its despite its overuse of the F word, because oh my gosh, we're edgy.
In all fairness,
Ubisoft.
that was only a problem with the first trailer. The one they made later more or less toned down, if not completely omitted it.
Okay, well, I mean that's better. That's better. All right, careful. I hate that. Goofy, stop blocking me. Sorry.
Well, that's not a block, that's a barrel.
And that was Donald's contribution to that conversation. Sorry. Anyway,
Hey,
as far
sir, I
as
think you're on a roll.
the color palette and what it was reminding you of, it does almost remind me of like Lilo and Stitch, kind of, with like the soft purple and all the weird like color vibe to it. I don't know. It's either that or Osmosis Jones.
Honestly, I look at this entire place and it's suddenly making me think back to, granted this was like released later, but Bowser's Inside Story.
Oh yeah, it does kind of look like
Oh,
Bowser's
yeah.
innards.
I mean, it's not quite. Bowser's Inside Story, or at the very least the original release, was a lot more colorful than this. But it definitely shares similar ideas in terms of how to show off the inner anatomy of a monster.
Right. Your thoughts on this planet, Jordy, Monstro, as a whole?
You can't really call it a planet, can you? But
No,
I mean,
can't. I don't know
he's
what
the
to
size
call
of a planet.
The Monstro experience.
it's a sentient planet, but it's interesting. I mean, look at the colors, look at the structure. It's
Those luscious
interesting.
lips.
I can't really describe it more as.
Well.
Oh, what happened?
What the?
Something happened.
We're gonna have to find out now.
Yes, now
Oh.
onward.
In the
Oh.
bowels.
Into the bowels.
And I love how Donald and Goofy just jumped
And then
immediately
just
after
turn
seeing
to
that.
each other. It's like, I don't know if I want to go there.
I don't know if I want to head in there.
I don't think I want to go there.
I don't know about this.
Last time I
So-
went in someone's bowels, Donald wouldn't stop yelling at me.
So, yep, we're heading in, and this is sort of a repeat fight we're going to see at least one more time.
Oh, we
It's
can
not-
use that to replace the treasure. That
I
is
don't know.
obscure reference aside. Trapmaster.
Oh. Yep. Or, no, I think it's called the Parasite Cage in this one.
Oh,
I
Parasite.
think,
Cage, okay.
I think Trapmaster is another one later.
Okay, never mind. I was thinking of Trickmaster.
Yeah,
Oh,
you're
yeah,
thinking of
Trickmaster
from
Alice in
Wonderland.
Yeah, this is the Parasite Cage. The way it works is the top head is the actual thing that'll deal damage. You're supposed to either do aerial combos, which is risky because of that attack, or use magic. You do have the option of hitting the bigger head, in which case it'll basically give you MP orbs to keep feeding you magic to cast damage at it, but honestly, if you're good enough with your combos and parrying his attacks, just do jump combos. It's gonna go by a lot faster. Save your magic for healing.
Honestly, seeing this, it kind of feels like assuming you just want to go and just say screw it. It kind of makes this seem like a war of attrition.
It really is. And we also have Riku helping out, like, sometimes. It's hard to tell whose side he's on, especially given what we know about him and the villains already.
Yeah.
Right.
So, and also, if you pay attention, he has his own, like, he still has that weird dark-looking blade. And oh, geez, heal.
I will say, for what it's worth, it's kind of a blessing in disguise that this is before Kingdom Hearts 2, where they decided to make it mandatory that you had to finish the boss off with a combo finisher.
Yeah, which is why a lot of people just started doing magic or reducing their thing. But yeah, there we go. Parasite cage destroyed, and just like that, this level is already almost done. Like, there's one last little section, and it's like 5. It's so easy to get through the end of it. So we're practically this. Yeah, you're right. This doesn't really count as a world. It's more like a little interquel. And
If I remember correct. Ooh, okay. Just jump right in.
You learn cheer.
Just charges at him, Sam.
My favorite toy.
So where do we end up after jumping just blindly into just a bowel pit? I can't talk. Final next time.
Till next time, everybody.
Words.
I'm scared now.